My name is Yahya Mahamid. I'm 21 years old. I'm an Israeli. I'm an Arab. I'm a Muslim. And I'm a proud soldier in the Israeli Defense Forces. I grew up in the Arab village of al-Fahm. I grew up in a country that I was taught to hate. But eventually I fell in love with Israel. I decided I wanted to give back to my country. So even though I am not required to do military service, I chose to enlist in the IDF and join a combat unit. I was nervous about how the rest of my platoon would feel about serving with a soldier who comes from a Muslim background, but I was greeted with open arms, treated with nothing but respect and admiration. Today I officially finished advanced training in the Nahal Infantry Brigade, and when I stood on the ceremony alongside the brothers that I had been training with for the last 8 months, I was proud to accept the responsibility of standing at the borders and protecting my country, Israel. What made me fall in love with Israel was the resilience of its people, and I'm proud to be part of that people. And I'm proud to be me, an Israeli, Arab, Muslim, IDF soldier.
Thank you for having me so much, and thank you to everybody at JNF for allowing me to share my personal story with you. My last time I spoke, I don't know if any new people have joined, but my name is Yahya Zakaria Ahmed Khabazna Mahamid. My Starbucks name is Johnny. It's much shorter, much easier. I just want to take a few minutes to expand on what Sol just shared with us. I grew up in an Israeli Arab town with a very negative image about Israel. And to make things even more complicated, my mother's side of the family is in the West Bank, and most of them are working for the Palestinian Authority. And I found myself on many summer breaks over there in a refugee camp in the West Bank. So I didn't exactly grow up with a very strong Israeli identity. Later on in life, I went to work in Tel Aviv, and my interactions that I had there were very eye-opening. One of them was trying gefilte fish for the first time. That was an experience of itself. But the main one was speaking with the Chabad rabbi. It was just before Sukkot. He approached me, and me not knowing a lot of Hebrew, I couldn't exactly respond to him. And he was telling me how important it is to keep the mitzvot and to shake the lulav, and I was just shaking my head. And at the end, with very broken Hebrew, I said, I am very sorry to waste your time, but I'm not Jewish. Now, based on the misconceptions that I was told growing up, that I will not be accepted for being an Arab, I will not be accepted from coming in from an Arab town. And to my surprise, that man looked me straight in the eyes and said, it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or not. What matters is that you're a good person. And I want to thank every single one of you today, because I see a lot of good people right now here with us today, especially during this time of hardship. I took it upon myself to start speaking for Israel in Arabic and educating my peers in the town about something that we didn't know. And to my surprise, unfortunately, I found out that the misconception and misinformation that was circling in my hometown were not only there, but I found myself on campuses in the US, in South Africa, in the UK, in Canada, and many other countries, fighting anti-Semitism, a word that I was never taught about, something that I was never taught about in school. The only thing that I was taught about the Jewish history was from my religion teacher when he said that Hitler did a good thing. And that is the only thing I learned about the Holocaust and about Jewish history. I've made it my life's mission to educate others and spread understanding and coexistence. But that was not enough for me. I went and I volunteered to be an IDF combat soldier in the Nahal Infantry Brigade. I found myself serving on Israel's borders, the country that I was a citizen of. I found myself serving in the Golan Heights, on the Gaza Strip near Nahal Oz, and my mission on the Gaza Strip was to block the terrorists who are trying to infiltrate into Israel and into our Israeli communities. And unfortunately, we saw their actions get translated on October 7th. And I want to take you to that very, very dark day. I live in the southern part of Israel. On that Saturday morning, I woke up like many, many other Israelis, running to the bomb shelter. not understanding what's going on. But after a few minutes, after some calm was happening, I went to the news and I saw videos and I was surprised, just like you, just like everybody else. And this did not only surprise Israelis and the Jewish community worldwide, but it also was a big surprise to the Arab community. It shook the Middle East apart. People, supporters of such organizations like Hamas, saw what their support could actually be translated into reality. And I found myself on Twitter speaking to Arabs from many different countries and explaining to them what happened on October 7th, only to be met with understanding, with compassion, with support to the families that were affected, to all of us in Israel. I recall one Egyptian man who told me that I am not the biggest Zionist, but I cannot stand behind what happened and what I've seen. So since October 7th, I have been called into the army, as many Israelis. I serve in the IDF spokesperson unit in the Arabic department. This department reaches out to the entire Arab world. It's a very important message. And my mission was mainly with the families of the kidnapped the Arab kidnappees. I went to their family and documented their story, documented who they were, and we broadcasted that to the Arab world. And to my surprise, and to the surprise of many people, the content that we broadcasted took a lot of good feed from the viewers. A lot of Arabs were surprised over what happened. And I found myself again working on social media. And this time, this is a GNF exclusive. I have never spoken about this anywhere else. Nobody knows about this, but I will share it with you here today. I have been in contact with many social activists in Gaza, people who are living in Gaza and abroad, who absolutely hate Hamas as much as we do, even more. And they have been working very, very hard on social media to delegitimize Hamas and everything that they have done to the Gaza Strip and to Israel and to the Israeli families. And they have been exposing what Hamas is really behind and what they are doing to the actual Gazans. For many of you that follow me on social media, I post a lot of videos about Gazans who are speaking up, brave Gazans who are risking their lives, their family lives, and everything that they know as a normal life, and speaking up against Hamas. And it's a very important mission to do, to elevate those kind of voices. And I wanted to come here today and share this with you. I want to say that thanks to people like you, truly, and I mean it from my heart. I know that things are getting tired. Some of us are very tired. I hear from my friends who are serving still in reserves that they're getting tired. But I remember during my service that whenever I was getting tired, when we had a mission, when we were pushing that stretcher on our backs and it was very, very hard, I remember that this is the time that the actual test has started. The actual test starts when things get hard. And I'm very proud in the support and in the community that came together at the beginning of this war, and it still exists until today. And with organizations like JNF giving a platform for good news to spread and for hope to spread, it's a very important thing. I want to share with you a few facts that I have seen on social media, very surprising. Information that I came across about polls that were held in Gaza. 41% of Gazans actually do not agree on the terrorist attack that happened on October 7th. This is a massive, massive number. We're seeing a lot of Gazans stand up against Hamas. Many, many news that I will not go into it, but I have posted it on social media. The days of Hamas are numbered in Gaza, and the kidnappees that are being held in Gaza, I pray for their release very soon. But I would like to just share this message of hope with you. It was very important for me to come here today and share this with you. I want to take you to that special moment with the Chabad rabbi. He started his sentence with shalom, and he ended it with that beautiful ending. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, what matters is that you're a good person. I truly hope that with your next shalom, you'll be influencing another person like me. Thank you.
So, Johnny Starbucks, thank you so much for joining us. But, you know, you mentioned 41% of the Gazans in this latest poll don't agree with Hamas. How do they do that polling? Who's responsible for that polling? And what gives you confidence in that polling?
So polling in Gaza is very, very tricky, because when you have a dictatorship ruling over you, it's really hard to answer such questions. The polls that I mentioned are from the Palestinian Research Center. They hold polls every 3 months, and the numbers were not very surprising at the first 2 polls, showing massive support for Hamas, showing aggressiveness against the IDF forces and stuff. But now we're seeing such a shift to our side that is very, very important. This research center sits in the West Bank, so it's not in Gaza, and they have been doing this for a very long time. We have to believe. And I have been on social media in Gaza since 2018, and I have never seen a video about a guy, a Gazan, an actual Gazan that lives in Gaza, who stands up on social media and criticizes Hamas. Now, during the war, the social media in Gaza is absolutely riddled with people cussing Hamas, cursing Hamas and its leadership. So it teaches me I came from a town where opinions are not to be shared. And whenever we hear such little tiny news, sparkle news, I know that there's a lot of pressure behind that. I trust in this poll. Another thing that I found interesting in those polls is that 1/3 of Gazans believe in the IDF and its mission of finishing Hamas. Those numbers are very, very fascinating, and should be definitely looked at and supported. Please head to my social media, and you'll see many Gazans speaking against Hamas.
Well, that sounds like it's pretty risky for those Gazans to speak against Hamas. The demographic, is it generally younger people?
The demographic is younger people, not young as in teenager, but young as in people who were very surprised over what happened at the 7th of October, have lost their houses, everything that they know as a normal life. And not only that, we've seen Hamas also take it a step forward and forbid them from the international aid that was sent to them. Another example was this morning, Gazans woke up to tons and tons of chicken that was spoiled and was found in the trash, while people in Gaza sometimes don't have access to such things. So it really moves the feelings in Gaza when they see such things. We see on TikTok and on Twitter and on Instagram and Telegram, we see a massive movement against Hamas. We're speaking in the thousands, not in the tens and not in the hundreds.